Hi, today we'll be making cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough that's not made out of anything that is normally in cookie dough. This is 4 cups of chickpea paste. I usually blend, and I can't get it out. I usually take about 2 cups of beans and I add the smallest amount of water I need to get it to blend, and that's usually about half a cup of water to 2 cups of beans. And here I'm trying to get it out still. James, what does that look like?
A kitey recipe.
A what recipe?
A kitey recipe.
A kitey recipe? Oh, this is...
Oh,
and here's
I got it.
Yep, and then here's another 4 cups. This is definitely based on chocolatecoverkatie.com's recipe, and I will link her description. It was so good when I made it that I found that I eat a lot of it, and so I'm just making a huge batch. And I do it differently because she uses a food processor, and it would take so many batches to do this that it's easier for me to just blend everything up together first. And I do it all in my Vitamix, but you can do it all in a blender too. And this is date paste. This is another, almost 4 cups that you can tell I didn't fill completely all the way. And I always add blackstrap molasses now to my date paste, just because it has a lot of stuff in it that's good. And I'm adding the smallest amount of date paste that I can tolerate. And it used to be about half and half pureed beans to date paste. And now, oh, there was a bug. Okay. I probably should just edit this out, but I'm not going to. And so I'm mixing it up, and then I think I'm gonna just like taste it and see, and I ended up adding a little bit more. So I'm adding about, and now I'm about 3/4 the amount of date paste to bean paste, because it used to be about equal amounts, because I'm adjusting to having a little bit less. What do you think, James?
That's a pink set and that's a white set.
Okay. Does it kind of look like cookie dough at all to anyone? No? Okay. And now this is where like you need some muscles. You gotta use your muscles to stir this up, because it's such a large amount. Like, who in the world is making like this amount of like cookie dough made out of beans and dates? Me. Because it freezes really well, and it's like not obviously not part of like really dinner or anything. It's not anything that anyone else in my family is gonna eat, so I don't like spending too much time making it. And sometimes I really just like to just have like a spoonful or something like after dinner, and I find that it's really satisfying. And sometimes if I really just want some more, that's just some more date paste from we don't let any date paste like go to waste. I'm making a huge mess also, as you can tell. Do you ever make a mess, James? Have you ever made a mess before?
Today we'll be making...
Today we'll be making...
I don't...
And here I'm adding more date paste to it because it's delicious. Do you like date paste, James?
Yeah.
Yep, you do. Nope, don't hit the button. Mom's trying to record. Okay, thanks. And then once again, I'm just stirring it up. And this should be enough for me. If I was making this for someone else, I would absolutely just do equal parts bean paste and equal parts date paste. And you probably could make this out of white beans. Yeah. Ooh, maybe I should do like, I guess red velvet cake, that was kind of different. I was thinking you could use like kidney beans paste and add a little cocoa powder to it and pretend it was like it was red velvet cake batter, but I think it has something else in it. It has buttermilk, that's what it has in it. And don't let anyone else tell you that red velvet cake doesn't have buttermilk in it. Okay, and here's just some almond butter I had. And I think the original recipe has like a pretty high ratio of like nut butter in it, but I mean, this looks like a lot, but I'm making like a ton. And I'm also trying to kind of reduce the amount of that in the dough as well. I prefer cashew butter every time for everything. It's just more expensive now. And I suggest everyone get all of their ingredients from the Winco bins, which is where I get everything from mine. I get the dried beans and I cook them up in my Instant Pot. And I get the dates. They're pitted, but you still have to go through and sort the pits out, so it is a time-consuming process. I had split this up into 2 days. So I made the date paste and the bean paste the day before, so it didn't feel like I was spending an insane amount of time making cookie dough for myself made out of beans. And that's the one thing, is some people say you need to cook from your pantry, and I get that. But for me, I like to have things so I can prep some stuff before I go grocery shopping. So, and I'm adding vanilla extract to this. So I already had the dates, and I used all the dates that I had to make a ton of paste to bake a bunch of stuff. And then I didn't have any, it's not like I needed to buy more immediately, but when we went grocery shopping the next day, I bought more because I know that at some point I'll find some time to make date paste, and it won't happen if I wait until I go grocery shopping and then I have to do all these things and also make like normal meals for the week for my family. And this is 100% dark chocolate chopped up, and some walnuts because I'm feeling crazy. And I used to add a lot more dark chocolate to it, and now I'm adding a little bit less. I'm thinking about trying to find a replacement that doesn't have any caffeine at all in it, but we'll see. And I just really like walnuts. And there I go, adding almost all the walnuts because they're delicious. And I would honestly rather eat like some of this than like oatmeal in the morning. I don't know. I did see a recipe. I don't know if it was from How Not to Die, but you can, if you're having a hard time getting beans in your diet, you can just make a paste out of like some white bean, and you can like kind of sneak it in your oatmeal. I advocate for everyone eating more and adding more beans in their diet. This is oat flour, and I use it to just kind of thicken up the dough, but mostly I'm just trying to kind of stretch out the dough because oat flour is really cheap, and I'm just trying to make, like I said, just stretch it out to make a little bit more. And I do like the texture, and the oats they don't subtract from the sweetness because they're already kind of sweet, so I don't have to worry about needing more date paste or anything. But it does become really, really difficult to stir, so I'm just going to stir it forever.
If you make your choice today, don't harden your we have a promise to enter His holy rest. Like His people past.
I am now
Now do what today. Now I'm so.
Thanks, bud. That was invaluable advice that I'm sure everyone watching will really appreciate having. I'm eating it. I was thinking I might have something wise to say, so I thought I would film myself eating, and there it is. But turns out I don't really have anything to say about this except that it tastes good and I like it. And if you don't think you'd like it, you probably won't. And I made a big mess, and I'm taking my the containers, I was just holding the date paste in and just plopping it in there to freeze. I ended up making 3 of those containers to freeze, and like I just take it out, you know, at the beginning of the week or whenever I feel like I need some. And I have defrosted it in the microwave and it was totally fine, or just letting it sit overnight works as well. And I just want to thank Chocolate Covered Katie for coming up with this recipe, because it's probably the best thing in the world and it has saved me. I would absolutely not try to make cookies out of this. It is way too dense. It has a lot of beans in it, and it's not like, if you were actually trying to make a cookie kind of like this, it would be more oat based and have obviously like a leavening agent in it. But I don't add leavening agents because they have a lot of sodium in them. I did find some sodium-free baking powder, but it's a little bit expensive. And I suggest to go to her website. It's chocolatecoveredkatie.com, and it's in the description below, and she has a lot of good recipes. I kind of don't use a lot of the things she uses anymore. I don't actually like coconut. I don't use oil. So there's not a lot of her stuff that I really make anymore, but this is a really good one, and hers is different. But yeah, I hope you enjoy and check out her site.